Good afternoon. In this video, we're going to go over this past week's trades and the weekly recap. Before I get into the recap, if you're not in the room, you can find the link in the description of the video and in my bio section of social media accounts. Also, please subscribe to the channel and like the video if you haven't done so already. This past week, I traded, 17 wins and 2 losses for a win rate of 89.47%. So, pretty good week. Now, usually on short weeks, I struggle a little bit, so I don't know why that is, but I do know that I'm aware of that, so I do trade a little less and stay more patient. You just gotta know when to step on the gas and when to let off. So me knowing that short weeks are not my best weeks, I just let off the gas and just stayed more patient. Now on Monday we had Labor Day, so Trade Ideas Room on Tuesday, SPY calls over 396 and Microsoft calls over 258. Now let's see, Tuesday is right here. Monday we had off. See, that just we had a nasty little knife on Friday, and futures did open Monday. It kind of like stayed in a little channel between the 395.50 to 394. So we stayed in the $1.50, $2 range through Monday and Monday night. So I was looking at calls over, what I say, 396, which is right up here, pre-market high. Let's see. I gotta pull up my Twitter account. I didn't even pull up my Twitter page. I'm just a little off today. Let's see. So I waited to, let's see, what is this, 6? Okay. My first play of the week was SPX puts at 10:01. I waited out the first minute. Now, the thing I want to mention is that lately the first 30 minutes or so has been very, very choppy. As you can see right here on Thursday, I just did nothing for the first half an hour. Same here, I did nothing for the first half an hour. I mean, you could have snuck a play in here and there, but in fact, I think I did. But lately it's just been chopping right here, chopped. I mean, it just, the first half an hour and the last half an hour has just been very, very choppy. So I kind of waited it out for a little bit. I think there was news that was going to drop or something at 10 o'clock. So I waited to 10:01, and you can see right here this green candle. I had this drop. I should have played that, but I wasn't sure. And then when the green candle came in, it popped back up, and news dropped. I don't remember what the news was, so I jumped into 3880 puts at 620, and they went from 620 to $15. So that was an easy 100% play on that. Then I ended up taking puts again at 1109, which is right at high a day, which is right around this 394 level. I took puts. I took the 3920 puts at 740, and they went from 740 to 1460. Then I took calls at 1134, which is right here. As you can see, pre-market high right here, rejected, came back down to VWAP. I grabbed it right about right here, right around the 394.50 area. I grabbed the 39.50 calls at 830, and then went from 830 to 970. So that was a quick little $1.40 play right there. It rejected higher day again, so I switched to puts at 1216, which is right here, right when it broke below these candles. I don't really like chasing these candles because when you have it staying in the area, I mean, it can trap you on both sides. I mean, if you didn't catch it down here, you bought it up here, you probably would have got trapped and end up taking a loss. But me, I like to buy a little bit before a break in case of a fake out, in case the move is very strong and you have a chance to get in before the move is strong. Because sometimes when the move pops, you get these monster candles like this right here, like up here, and by the time it breaks out, you're chasing a $2 or $3 move. And to me, I personally like to buy right before the breakout and try to catch it before it does end up doing a fake out or a monster breakout. So that's just me. You have to find what works for you. Don't trade and follow me blindly. Remember, this is never financial advice, never is, never will be. This is just me doing what I'm doing. If you choose to follow, that's on you. So make sure you manage your own risk and don't do what I do. I have a lot more experience. If I take a loss, I'm not afraid to make it up. I'm not afraid to go in with size and make it up. So you just need to trade your plan, not mine. I get so annoyed when I see people doing what I'm doing, and you don't have the account I do. You don't have the experience I do, and you don't, if I take a loss, I'm not afraid to make reckless choices. So that's just me. You need to trade based on your account size and your ability. So anyways, a little rant. But yeah, I do like buying before breakouts and breakdowns for that purpose only. But it stayed in this little range. But when it came down here to VWAP, that's where I grabbed the 3,900 puts at $6.50, and they went from 650 to 1120. Then I switched to calls at what, 128, which is probably right here. No, 128 right here apparently. Probably should have bought it right here, but it doesn't matter. Either way, even if I bought it here or here, it still would have been a good play. So yeah, I bought the 39.10 calls at 128, which is right here. Bought them at 760, and then went from 760 to 990. So in that little push right there. So that was it. Took what, 5 trades on Monday, which is kind of a lot. A lot of people used to see me place, I don't know, anywhere from 5 to 10 trades usually. So me only doing 3 to 4 trades, kind of like not normal for me, but it is what it is. Like I said, because it's a short week, I did not want to take any chances. So I just I just let off the gas. So now on what, Wednesday, 4 wins, 1 loss. I said in the trade ideas room, SPY calls over 3150, 391.50, and Amazon calls over 127. 391.50, which is right here, pre-market high. It broke that. I took it right off the bat. I usually wait out the first 10 minutes, but I just had a feeling. I think put to call ratio was high at this point in time, and I was expecting a squeeze for like days, and it didn't really happen yet. So to me, it just looked like the put to call ratio was a lot higher. It was higher than usual, or it's been the last week. I thought for sure the stars were in line for a squeeze right out of the gate. So as soon as it broke that level, I told everybody in the room, it breaks the level, I'm grabbing it. I'm not waiting the first 10 minutes, which I did. I grabbed the 39.40 calls at 790, and they went from 790 to 1230 in that pop right there. Then I bought calls again at 1029, which is probably right here. Yep. And squeezed up, pulled back. I didn't buy it at the 20 EMA. It did dip below the VWAP and 20 EMA just a little bit. Then it quickly got bought up, and that to me was a sign that it was going to pop. When it drops and gets bought back up and rushes back to higher day again, usually it's going to end up being a breakout, even if it's a fake out. You always get to anticipate that a breakout could possibly be a fake out, so that's why you unload. You sell into strength, and you sell while it's popping and not while it's dropping. So yeah, I took the 39.50 calls this time at $6, and they went from $6 to $8.70. Then I took puts at 11.50, which is right here. I'm not quite sure why I grabbed it there. I probably should have grabbed it right below the 390.60, but I grabbed it here. It wicked, and then when it started to break up and it didn't break out, that's where I just ended up taking it. I took the 39.30 puts at 790, and they went from 790 to 1270 in that little drop. Then I took puts again at I'm 121, which is right here, I think. Yeah, I grabbed it right here. RCT trend line's right there. And there was something else. I think that there was something else that came into a factor. I think this might have been the area that had the 50 and the 20 EMA on the daily. I probably have to look at the daily chart on SPY. Let's see what day it is. No, it didn't even come into a play that day. That was on Friday. But yeah, no. For some reason I did take it, tried to take it here, thinking that was maybe top. It could have been I don't think the RCT trend line was even there at that point because, I don't know. We'll have to see. Yeah, there was a reason I took it here. Let's see what the hourly is. Maybe it was right here. Yeah, I was probably looking at this area right in here, the 395. What was it? Yeah, 395.22. 390. Yeah, see, I'm looking at right here. Let me blow it up. 395 right here. You can see pre-market high, and you get the support right here. There's a pivot right here at the 395. Well, 50-ish area, so I get why I took it here. I probably would have done it again. I just took it into the pivot, and it just broke out. So that went against me. That was my first loss. I was not expecting that to happen. It was a very, very strong move. Then I ended up taking puts at the end of the day, 337, which is right here when it broke down. Get all these candles clustered together right here. When it broke below the 397.80-ish area, that's where I took the 39.80 puts at 390, and they went from 390 to 540. So the end of the day plays have been very, very risky. And that's another thing that I'm going to rant about, is that people go in the end of the day plays thinking they're going to get some massive runner and don't realize that you can lose it just as fast. The end of the day plays are the most risky of all the plays because it can just get destroyed within minutes. End of the day chop or the small going against you just a tiny bit will just crush it. So don't play end of the day plays if you don't want the risk, or if you don't have the cushion to play it. Don't play it because I do. You gotta find your own way and find what works for you. That's the whole purpose of the room. Now on Thursday, Trade Ideas room. Amazon calls over 139.50 and SPY calls over 398. 398, which is right here. Not quite sure why I picked that 398 level. I mean, I could have. What time did I post that? I don't know. I can't even see the time. What's the time on this? 9:21, which is down here. So I could have picked the 397 level, which is right here, or definitely didn't want to pick the 398 because it's way down here already. It's right down to the 395. That's a $3 pop. That usually a $3 pop in the pre-market resistance will end up getting rejected a little bit, which it did a little bit right here. Anyways, so I waited for the first 10-minute candle to form. So that's what I adjust my my levels based on the first 10-minute candle. If I'm expecting calls, and if it's a red candle, I will wait for the take calls over the higher day of the opening range candle. So which was 395.50. So when SPY got over that, I took the 39.90 calls at 640, and they went from 640 to 1110. Then I took calls at 1017, which is right here. It came up, rejected right here, quickly got back up. And I think there was news at 10 o'clock. Something came out. I don't remember what it was. But I took 4,000 calls. And I got them at $6. And they went from $6 to $8.80, and then up to pre-market high. And then it rejected a little bit, and I took puts at 11.38, which is right here. I chased it. Yeah, I grabbed it right here. I grabbed the 39.90 puts at 660, and they went from 660 to 930, and that little drop right there. Then at 135, I missed this massive move. I don't even remember what it was. Was it the queen dying? I don't remember. It might have been. No, actually, I think it was the EU raised rates. That's what it was, because I remember making a comment about it. And then I took what puts at 135, which is rate. Okay, why is this struggling? 135 right here. Took it right here for some reason. Right up by 390. Why is toss lagging? God damn, this toss is such a piece of crap sometimes. Took it right here. The 39.90 puts at 860, and they got the drop right here. This is where it broke down. We had that nasty candle, then it came back up to where it broke down from with the news drop, like nothing happened. I bought puts there just in case, and they went from $8.60 to $13 in that drop. Then I grabbed puts again at 248, which is right here. And I can see this is where it broke down, came back up, retested the breakdown area, dropped the 20 EMA, popped back up, tried to break out, and ended up being a fake out. Then when it came back down below the 398 level, 399 level, that's where I ended up grabbing the puts, the 39.85 puts at $6.50, and they went from $6.50 to $10. So that was a nice little play right there. Then on Friday, did not play that much because it was a slow grinding day. Trade ideas room, SPY puts into 403, Microsoft calls over 269. Now I am looking at the grind up. We're above the 404 level, and RCT trend line's way down here at 390. We're probably going to go visit that probably on Monday, because I think right now, as I looked earlier, the put to call ratio is very, very low, and that's when you end up seeing a rug pull. But anyways, I picked 403 because let's see, 403 was pre-market low. I did break below. I took it at what, 935. I took it at 935. Then it actually ended up dropping. I bought it in this candle for some reason. It must have started to come down. I grabbed it, and it popped back up. Then it came back down. So yeah, I grabbed the no, I grabbed the calls. I didn't grab the puts. What am I looking at? What am I talking about here? At 9:35. Oh yeah. I remember this. Yeah. And yeah, it was just a couple days ago. Yeah, this is where I got trapped. I bought calls because it was going up right at the open. I thought for sure it was gonna pop. So yeah, I grabbed the 40-60 calls right at 935 at $7.30. Then it dropped, and when it came back down the pre-market low right here, I remember I grabbed puts. I grabbed the 4,000 puts at 945. So I grabbed the calls here, I grabbed the puts here. So now I'm in both sides, and I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna hold, because one of them is going to end up going. I actually thought we were going to dump, because I was leaning towards the bearish side, but because it started to pop, I was thinking, okay, we could grind more. Then it dropped, and I bought puts right here. So I said, okay, we're going to finally flush to cover the gap, fill the gap. And it didn't. It got bought right back up. And the calls, I was actually able to get out. And those calls did go from 7:30 to 11:30 if you held all the way through. And the puts ended up going worthless. It didn't really go anywhere. I don't like chasing both sides, because I did it right here. I mean, I could have stopped out right here at a calls and had puts, and then I could have stopped out of puts. I mean, this is just a nightmare to trade, because to me, in my opinion, it was just worth just holding both ends, both sides, and just seeing what happened. Because if you have stops too tight, and you would have got stopped out twice and taken 2 losses instead of actually had only one. And market loves to do this stuff first half an hour of the day, going back to its choppy crap again. And luckily I held the calls and I was able to get out, but took the loss on the puts. So my second loss for the week, only loss. Yeah, only 2 losses for the week. Then I took puts at what, 1203, which is right here. Popped up, consolidated a little bit, choppy, made a little bit of a lower high, kind of like flattening out at the 406 area. Then when it came down below the 405, when it got underneath 405, that's when I grabbed the 440 puts at 780, and then went from 780 to $9. Then I switched to calls at 1250, which is right here. I got the 40/70 calls at 510, and they went from 510 to 810. Now it consolidated a little bit. It dropped underneath VWAP, and it did kind of bounce and got bought back up. It was making a higher low, so when it got bought, and instead of going back to higher day, I knew it was either going to break out or it was going to be a breakout, fake out. I was willing to take it, so I bought it right before it broke out. The calls, and I was able to get a good little play out of that. But just a very slow grinding day, and the rest of the day it just chopped, and it was a real theta killer all day, the rest of the afternoon. So I didn't want any more of trading that day. So I was like, I'm done for the day. I'm not doing anything else. So I'm not going to sit and watch this. So that was Friday. So that does it for the recap. I hope that this has helped and made you understand the purpose of what I was doing and what I was looking at. And hope to see you in the room. Thanks for watching.